Okay, the next thing is pure in heart. Bob Carlyle, anybody know him? Christian singer? You know him? I kind of like his stuff. And there's one song that I like the most that is like the worst song. Like the words. You ever heard the song, "We fall down, we get up," right? We fall down, we get up. Get a load of this now. I'm not done. We fall down, we get up. And the saints, listen to this now. And the saints are just the sinners who fall down and get up.
Mark Lowry said it too.
Really?
Really?
The saints are just the sinners who fall down and get up. Now, I kind of like the sentiment. I mean, you know, we're not that much better. And I want to say, yeah, I guess we're not that much better, except we have the life of God in the soul. And He ought to make us better. Listen, we believe in transformation, don't we? And the problem is there's a lot of people that don't believe in transformation. But the best thing we can possibly do is be sin managers, right? We're going to sin, we're going to sin, we're going to sin. So just manage it well in your life. Try to keep it down to a minimum. Manage it well, right? What we want to say is, no. There's a possibility of purity in a life. The NAE president once said, and I wasn't there, but apparently Ron Smith, who was former president of WBS, said, he heard this said by National Association of Evangelical Presidents, who said, the only difference between sinner and saint is that one is forgiven and the other ain't. Really? That's the only difference. Between Matt Friedman and Hitler is that, you know, Matt Friedman is forgiven and he ain't, or I guess he can be forgiven and I ain't. I mean, really, that's the only difference that Christ can make in a life, is forgiveness. Purity of heart, said Soren Kierkegaard, is to will one thing. So we have to ask the question, what is the possibility of the one thing? What might that one thing be? And let me just say, I at one point was doing a Bible study on Seek Ye First the Kingdom of God. And I don't know if you've never heard the name. He was an old Asbury seminary professor, a guy named Alan Coppage, now retired. I've mentioned his name before. And Alan Coppage was doing a Bible study. He was discipling us, and we were on in his den, and we were doing a Bible study. And went across Matthew 6. He came upon this verse. He said, what do you guys think about this verse? And I said, like I had an answer to it almost immediately. I said, I don't like the verse. But you know, for a group of people who are inerrantists, is saying something. I don't like the verse. Well, why not? What's wrong, Matt? I said, well, I don't like the word first. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and then what? It doesn't say anything about what ought to happen second, third, or fourth. It just says seek first. Now, I think it's actually quite possible to make God the top priority in your life and make Baal the second priority. Now, I don't think that's legitimate with God, but I think it'd be exceedingly legitimate with you. Because it wouldn't be Baal, it'd be your job. Or it wouldn't be a job, it'd be your marriage. Or it wouldn't be a marriage, it would be some lesser priority. So you give the top position, top priority to the kingdom of God, put the kingdom and the kingdom first, and have it your way the rest of the time, right? I think it's possible. I said, I don't like the word first. To this day, I think that was one of my finest moments as a stupid seminary kid. About a year later, I was in my den in Lawrence, Kansas. I'm now going back to study for my PhD. And I don't know, y'all know the term Kittles? It's a Greek New Testament dictionary. It's about 13 volumes, has all the Greek words in it, or nearly all of them. All the Greek words. And so if you want to know what a word looks like, or what's the deeper understanding of the word, you go and look it up, and there it is. And it'll have like 2, 3, 5, sometimes 50 pages on a single word. I guarantee righteousness has 50 pages at least on it. I mean, things you never even thought about righteousness could mean. They'll tell you. They'll tell you how it was used then, how it was used in the patristics, they'll tell you everything about things you didn't want to know. So I looked up the word for first. Because I was about ready to do a Bible study on the same thing. So, seek ye first the kingdom. I still don't like the verse. So let me go over. I spent $130 and I got a major sale on it. The 13 volumes Costs undoubtedly over 500 bucks. Now, in fact, look it up, Kittles. The Theological Dictionary of the New Testament. I want to know how much it costs. I mean, if you got a bargain on it, it probably costs 500 bucks. I bought it for 130 bucks, but still, 130 of my bucks. So I want to know, what does proton mean? Surely it's got to be more than first. So I open up proton. Seek ye proton, the kingdom of God. You know what first means? First. It means 1 before 2, 2 before 3, 3 before 4. It's almost like it's saying, hey, moron. It means what it says it means. Why are you looking up this word? And I was about ready to close it, mad as I could be. You know, I still didn't like the verse. And I flipped the page, and there was a last paragraph. And because I love you guys, I put that paragraph for you right here. The meaning here cannot be how much?
At CBD, 400.
400 bucks from CBD.
You can get it used at Amazon for 200.
You can get a 1 volume for 80.
But the one volume's not going to give you 50 pages on righteousness.
I know,
And it won't give you 4 pages on proton. And it won't, because I've looked it up, Chris.
But the list price is 700.
And it
I just
won't-
see the one. That's all I got was the 1 volume.
And
I saw
it won't give you this paragraph.
Okay.
I, out of my 130 buck investment, give you this paragraph.
Thank you.
And you may use it in your sermons.
Oh,
Just if you could weasel the word freedom in there somewhere, I'd really like that. Okay? The meaning here, says the last paragraph, cannot be that one must seek after God's kingdom and then after other things. Above all is the only meaning which corresponds to the central position which orientation to the kingdom of God has in the proclamation of Jesus. Indeed, proton, someone have a drum roll out there for me, please. Give me some. Proton, no, keep going. Proton is so exclusive. Proton is so exclusive here that it carries the implication of only. I did a series one time on how do you spell Christianity. And one of the ways I spelled it was O-N-L-Y. Now, here's what it's saying. I think the best way to illustrate this is with the Roman numeral symbol. Outlines. Y'all made an outline before? Undoubtedly you have, and you said, all right, Roman numeral number 1. But then you had Roman numeral number 2. And then you had Roman numeral number 3. Right? And this is what it's saying. Under Roman numeral number 1, and this is the kingdom of God. That includes the king, the boundaries, the expanding boundaries of the kingdom of God. Underneath Roman numeral number 1 is A, B, and C. And A might be, again, things we just mentioned, your job. But it's just an A. It's not Roman numeral number 1, right? That's the priority. A serves Roman numeral number 1. B serves Roman numeral number 1. So it might be your job here. It might be your marriage. It might be, these are obviously not in order. It might be, what would be other priorities? It might be some kind of relationship out there in the world. It might be your golf buddies. Any number of things. But they're all subsumed in the kingdom of God. All these serve Roman numeral number 1. And here's the point. There is no Roman number 2. There is no Roman numeral number 3. There's only one Roman numeral to Matthew 6:33. And there's only one Roman numeral when we start talking about purity of heart. Everything in your life ought to serve Roman numeral number 1. Seek ye only the kingdom of God. R.A. Torrey wrote once of the interaction between Henry Varley and D.L. Moody. Y'all remember this? Henry Varley, a very intimate friend of Mr. Moody in the early days of his work, loved to tell how he once said to him, you know, it remains to be seen what God will do with a man who gives himself up wholly to him. Henry Varley said that Mr. Moody said to himself at that point, well, I will be that man. I'll be that guy. And I, for my own part, do not think it remains to be seen what God will do with a man who gives himself up wholly to him. I think it has already been seen in D.L. Moody. By the way, I would say by extension, it's been seen in some other people as well. And some people you know. And some people are in this room right now. And I don't know who they are, because I don't know you. But this isn't a pipe dream. This ought to be a very real reality to us. Seek ye only the kingdom of God.